Welcome back
Yeah, welcome back
to the Double Trouble podcast.
Trouble podcast.
Well, what time is it, Cameron? What time is it, Cameron? It's
If you were here last week and you liked it, thanks for coming back. If you didn't, thanks for being here anyway, I guess.
yeah. Thanks for coming up and thanks for searching for us or someone else and having to listen to us. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the browse feature.
Yeah. Let me see what it's Houston. We're in
It's March
Houston.
24th. We're in Houston, Texas, and it's
I don't know. 10:56.
10:56. Everybody.
Yep, it's a nice day too. It's in the 70s. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Nice
Welcome
and
to the
crispy.
podcast, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, there.
What's on your mind today, Oz?
Honestly, dude, low quality people, bro. Low quality people now. Like, just not willing people to do shit, dude. Where I work, just people that aren't willing to do anything, man. That's one thing. I would say the same thing that we talked about last time, just wanting more out of life, or not even, dude. This is something I talked to my counselor about. I talked to my counselor about like planning my escape, dude. And I think it's better with the group, dude. That's one thing. That's another thing. Working together. Your birthday tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we're celebrating my birthday tomorrow. My birthday was on March 23rd, but we're celebrating it tomorrow.
Yep. But I
See
feel
you all
like
there.
yeah, right? You jive turkeys. But yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I feel like I had a lot of stuff to talk about, and now I think there was something that I talked about with this lady I work with. Her name's Jan. She's been married for 40 years, and we're talking about like because of your birthday coming up, and Charlene has a few friends that are coming over. Our sister, and we were talking about like finding the right person, or the way I said it was like, man, there's gonna be a couple girls coming over and let's see how it goes. And she's like, oh, so you're like that. Not in like in a way where like, oh, you're like a player, but she's like, that's when it's fun. And I was like, I have a neighbor, he was teaching his kid how to ride a bike. And I was like, man, I want one of those, I want one of those, right? You can
I
go
want
to
one
a
of those
fucking
things.
but in the sense of like a kid. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, man, I want a son, man. Like just looking at him. Just looking at the dad and the son, and the time, I was just like, damn, dude, that has to be so fucking cool to see his kid ride a bike, like just
Yeah.
something like that, and like, but it's like, dude, to want to have a kid, you got to find someone that you wanna compromise with, or like, because I think the issues for myself is just like compromise. It could be like being overcritical, and then. Yeah, I would say at least those two things that stay on my mind. So it's just like something like that, and I don't know. There's chicks or there's women, but yeah, dude, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things where I guess let's see how it goes tomorrow. But even, dude, oh no. So there was this chick at the gym that I go to, and honestly, I like if I was working there, like one of the trainers there, he was like talking to her and her friend, and like this chick was just like, and I don't care. I guess yeah, I do care because I'm fucking talking about it. But like this chick was just like cussing like bad, bro, like out loud. Like she wasn't.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, fuck, and like and she's talking about her kids, and like she was talking. She was like, yeah, dude, I work all day, whatever, and then I get home and I smoke a joint, and then I go to sleep. My kids walk outside like, man, mom, it smells. I don't know. It was just like bad parenting. I was just like, dude, you sound like you suck as a parent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just like, and then you could just hear her like after I like locked in her voice because she was like right there next to me, like I could just hear her voice was like piercing.
Yeah.
And then like the trainer there that was with her was like chopping it up with her. I'm like, bro, like I don't know, just I wouldn't affiliate myself with someone like that.
Something like that. Right.
Yeah.
Charlene and I were talking about this to some degree last night. She had asked me because I was telling her, I was like, man, I really look forward to having kids. Like, I can't wait till I'm in a better spot and I have enough, like just my life
Yeah.
well enough put together where Because what I feel like I've heard is a lot of people say, "Well, you're never ready." It's it's crazy, and they're people who have parents, so it's like I trust that experience. So I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna try to get as well adjusted as possible first,
Mhm.
prior to bringing new life into this world. But
Yeah, yeah.
Charlene
Like
was asking me, she's like, "Why do you want kids?" And I was like, and so I gave her the example of when Dad came into town in Houston, and I was like, dude, like he comes into town, and we're all on our way to go see him.
Mhm.
Like we're all going out of our way, like we're all adjusting everything, doing this and the other to go see him. And I was like, that's why I wanted. I was like, because
It has to be cool to be dad to get
yeah,
his sons
like
like all
yeah,
together. Yeah.
it was cool, like that. And when we were talking about like we cheers to that, and it was
Those
just like
little
a really
sperm
cool
shots,
experience.
dude.
Yeah, the fish that made it, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
I like I was like, yeah, I'm Dad's favorite chips, dude. He was eating his special chips that
Yeah,
particular day.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That would eventually be metabolized into me. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nerd alert.
yeah,
Um,
but
I don't know,
it's
dude.
like
That's a
that.
trip.
But thinking about that, and then like thinking about, I guess, type of father that I would like to be, and like husband, and I guess in the respect where it's like the way that I want it to go. Maybe that's not the way it's going to end up, but it's like at least to have an idea of the type of dynamic that I would like. Like I would like just the way that I would like, I guess, my family to be, and so on and so forth. Like Charlene and I were talking about talents that we had as kids, and how we didn't get to really like explore them because of the household, the dynamic that we grew up. And I was telling Charlene, I was like, man, like I'm really fortunate that when I went to Texas A&M, I got to be on their gymnastics team, and I got to pursue that at a time before like my time was up. Because I was like, as I'm
Yeah,
getting older, it just gets harder to do stuff like that. Like gymnastics, you wear out very fast
yeah,
because it's just such a demand on your body. But I was telling her, I was like, man, like I felt as though if mom and dad had things well put together enough that, and they recognized that talent in me, and they put me in like lessons and stuff like that early enough, I'm like, I felt like I would have been really good. Like,
yeah.
so I was telling Charlene, I was like, I hope it's just like my hope, because I don't want to impress, I don't want to live vicariously through my kids, right? I don't want to push things on them that they don't really care about and so on. Like I don't want to be that parent. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, but I hope that I see that.
I feel like
Because
mom and dad weren't like that.
when I was a kid, I had like a handle on, I guess, that particular aspect of myself. Like my body just knew how to do certain things, like, or it wanted to, and it wanted to test itself. Like
Hmm.
I hope that I recognize that in my kids. One, just to be like, that's me. Like, but
Yeah,
two, also to be like, wow, like I'm in a position now where I can give my kid that opportunity that I didn't have, like to pursue that aspect of themselves, like whether it's a girl or a boy. But it was like a cool concept, I guess, or a cool idea to like talk about, to be like, yeah, because I'm getting to that age already, and I'm getting to that point in my life where it's like, oh, I really see that more as like that's becoming more and more real. Um,
yeah,
as time goes on. And the same, like that's what I look forward to, like being a good dad, bringing good people into the world, teaching them how to be good, making
yeah.
the world better, leaving it better than what they found it in. Like just being better.
I'm I'm trying to think of me like as a kid and like mom and dad because you're seeing or at least like you're recollecting memories of you as a kid and then like you trying to put it in like big person, like adult version of what you're thinking about as a kid.
Yeah,
Because you're like, man, like if mom and dad, if they had a grip on things, with themselves or with each other, it would have been totally different. I feel like I had opportunities to learn how to play the drums. I
mm.
feel like I had opportunities to learn how to draw
Yeah.
better
You were
or
really
paint.
good at drawing. I remember seeing stuff that you drew, and then thinking like not thinking, trying to do it, and then like just noting the difference in our talents in that regard. Where I'm just
Yeah,
like, yeah, like I
yeah.
don't got it, dude. Like how
Stick figure.
no, really though, like I would
Yeah.
draw stick figures and stuff like that. So there's a 5-year difference between, no, four. There's a 4-year difference between you and me. No, five.
Mm,
It's a 6-year difference between me and Charlena. But
yeah.
so it's like when I'm a kid, my brother is 5 years older than I am, and I'm like comparing myself to like what I'm seeing him draw, and it's just
Yeah.
like way above me at that moment. But even now, like I just don't have that particular talent. Like that's just not. It's something I could develop maybe, but it's like it was easier for you. Like it just was a part of you, I guess. Like
I
that
don't
talent.
know. I don't know where I started like doing that. So like I had those opportunities. Like the drums. I want to learn how to play drums. Mom and dad got me like a video to follow. Dude, put on that video. Lost interest completely after that
Yeah.
video, from what I remember.
Drawing?
No, from playing the drums.
Oh, okay.
Then
That's right. I remember you went in a band, right? You had the
Oh, dude, but me and Travis were bad kids, dude. Me and Travis were bad kids. Me and Travis were bad kids. Like in 6th grade, 7th grade, we got kicked out of
band.
band.
Okay.
Because we were just so disruptive.
Yeah.
And then I remember,
What
I
would
don't
you
know
do?
why, dude. I don't. No, we were just disruptive, dude. We were
Like
just,
hard, you-
dude. No. Like just talking and just
Yeah.
fucking with each
Laughing.
other. Yeah. Exactly. Just fucking with each other, dude. So like that, and then for some reason, dude, I remember. So remember the Robles family or the Robledos, like
Yeah.
so
Charlene's friend, right?
dude,
What was her
no,
name?
well, we went to
Priscilla.
church with them,
Priscilla, right?
but dude, so the xylophone, it comes in like a big case, dude,
Yeah.
and Sulema
Mm.
had these TY babies, those little stuffed animals.
Oh, right.
Dude, I would
Beanie
steal them.
Babies?
Yep, I would
Yeah.
stuff them in that thing, dude, and I would take them. I
Yeah.
don't even remember what I would do with them, dude.
Probably nothing.
Yep, but it was
But
like,
I
oh,
wanted
I'm gonna put, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
dude. Weird kid, bro.
Right.
Um,
All kids are weird, really.
it's yeah, for sure.
That's like the nature of being a kid. You're just weird in some aspect.
Yeah, for sure. So like that, and then with the drawing, they tried to get in one of their friends to show me how to draw, but I was a rebel, dude. I feel like that's always been like the thing, just to go against, like, say, hey, let's go this way, and I'm just like, nah, fuck that. Let's go that way, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that. I want to do it my way.
That always sounds whack.
Yeah, exactly, dude. So I feel like
Wait,
I don't
that's
know. After joining the military after joining the army, it was like even that took some time for them to like,
Mold me.
yeah,
I had to be
seriously though, where they just teach you, they call it character building. They just teach you how
Yeah.
to freaking mop or sweep sunshine and mop rain, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Stop trying to mop rain.
Yeah, you're outside sweeping sunshine, bro.
Yeah.
Or you're out there when it's raining mopping rain. But just dumb shit where they're like, "Oh, bro, you want a character build, bro? Come with me, dude. Come with me. We got a perfect solution for you. If you're gonna grab this broom, you're gonna go outside and start mopping, like,
Yep.
but it's raining. Yep,
Yep.
that's exactly what I want you to do, dude.
You don't even have to have a mop bucket.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
plenty of
just-
mop water actually falling from the sky for you.
Oh man, dude. Jeez Louise, man.
I remember stuff like that. I remember listening to your stories when Ephraim and I were in College Station, and you just like telling me that you had to do like 24 hours. And I remember you telling you like, oh, dude, it snowed. Like it snowed today or something like that. You're like, dude, I hate snow. Like
Yeah.
I hate snow. I was like, we grew up in the valley, which is like this place, at least in our life, like while we were there,
In
it
Texas,
never
too.
snows. It's
Yeah.
super hot, like super deep down south. It's like 15 minutes away from the U.S. Mexico border. Never snowed. Never got really cold either. Like super warm for the most part. And so it's like when I moved up for college and things like that, it got colder. Snow happened occasionally. So I'm at Texas A&M. It's snowing this particular like fall.
Yeah,
Telling my
fuck
brother
snow.
about it. He's like, dude, I hate snow. And I was like, well, why, dude? So he's like, have you ever pulled a 24-hour? And I was like, I don't even know what that is. He's like, dude, it's where you have to do whatever it is that they tell you to do for 24 hours. Like, and he's like, been outside, dude, in the cold, and so you're in New York.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Way. So he's from South.
Fort Drum,
like,
New York.
Way north.
Like
Like,
Army's best kept secret, bro. That's what they say. It's Army's best kept secret.
whenever you tell me that, you're like, dude, I hate. Like, have you ever? You're like, you like snow because you can go in when you want to, and you're like, I can't. I have to stay out anyway, even though I don't like it. So I've been exposed to snow, regardless of if I want to be or not.
So we had these like motor pool Mondays,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Where you go, you're in the motor pool, you're checking your equipment, your Humvees and everything like that. Dude, when it was cold as fuck, like I know in the back of my, not even in the back of my, in the front of my fucking face, dude.
My whole head, actually.
I'm like, bro, get to the Humvee, turn on the heater, bro, sit in there.
Yep.
Like, who the fuck cares about checking the oil?
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares? Just get in there, stay warm. That's where warmth is.
Yeah.
Dude, you would breathe, like, because it was so cold, your breath would freeze your eyelashes, dude.
That's wild.
So you're closing, initially when it was first happening, because you
you're
don't,
like, what is
no
this?
one's telling you, my eyelashes are getting stuck together, and I'm like, oh shit, like, what the fuck is happening? I'm like,
it's the moisture.
oh, it's my fucking moisture in my breath
yeah,
freezing up my eyelashes, dude. So as I bat them, they're
Yeah.
getting frozen.
Because as you're exhaling hot air and it's rising, it's freezing.
Yeah,
By the time it
dude.
gets to the moisture in that air.
Shit was nuts,
Wild.
bro. Yep. Like I didn't like running, but when
Yeah.
it was cold,
I loved it.
dude, let's fucking run, dude.
Yeah.
When are we running?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna get that's the only I know I'm gonna get warm this way.
Right.
Dude, yeah, some shitty fucking times.
Shitty, but the best times, dude. You know, it
No,
was
yeah.
it was the worst of times, but it was the best of times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, like I feel like that's what you remember the most. Like
Mhm.
just these freaking the trials and things like that. Like it's like, oh my god.
Well,
it
like
was fun.
no, well, like I like it when we talk about it, but then like, so me working at Home Depot, and this is where I was talking about earlier, where like me going back to school and finishing it and going into what I want to go into, or I feel like if I go into the field that I'm going into, that I will be working alongside other professionals that are just like me. Maybe not.
Well, what does that feel?
Okay, political science.
Political science? Okay.
I want to go into political science and whatever branches from there.
Yeah.
I can literally get my doctorate. I've just
So you have like an open mind. So like political science is the area of study, but the opportunity outside.
yeah,
of
I
it,
think there's
you're
like
just
four
open to
different. There's four different focuses that you can go into.
Yeah.
There's like I don't even fucking know.
But it's like.
But
what
still,
I'm
though,
saying
there's
is-
like you could go into political science, but once you get to your master's or your graduate degree, you're branching out into you're going into focuses now. You now have
Right.
where you can work in like international affairs, political theory, and then I don't know what I forgot what the other two are. But like you can go into those things and then branch out from there, and then who knows where the fuck you land.
So where would you like to take your expertise at? Like where would you like to apply that to? Getting out, like when you get your master's or your PhD, like where would you like to do? Like what type of work, I guess, would you like to do within that realm?
So I would want to be. I'd want to be like a part of a senators or house reps, as like advisors or something.
So like more domestic type work as opposed to like in international.
No, international affairs would be badass. Like working something like that, or even working like I don't know, being a lobbyist or something like that. But I think it's more so just in the atmosphere of like, of course you're gonna have shitty people everywhere, lazy people everywhere, but like I don't know. I think like just in the sense of the professionalism, like
Yeah.
you
I
know,
mean, you're around with other professionals within that particular sphere of
Yeah.
knowledge and stuff like that.
yeah.
For sure.
So like something like that, and I'm just not. Now there's good people, there's super good people, you know, that I work with, but in the sense of like work ethic and drive, maybe it's just me who has that. You know what I mean? In that sense like that, but like
Maybe
I just want maybe. You know what I mean?
you have to get there first to know for sure.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then be like, oh fuck, I'm the only one here. You know what I mean? So like,
But I doubt it because it's like as you pursue stuff like that, you have to have a certain degree of work ethic to get to one stage, and then you have to have even more to get to the next, and so
Yeah.
on and so forth. So it's like by trial, statistically, you're bound to run into people who have at
they're
least
like,
some
oh, dude, I want to
appreciable
fucking
degree
be
of
here. Yeah,
work ethic. Right?
yeah. Like, oh, dude, I want to be here. You want to be here too?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's fucking crazy. So like,
It is what it is.
something like that. But I don't know, man. I just in that, I guess that sense of just working with people that are just do the bare minimum, and then they complain about not getting paid enough, and it's like, bro, you can't even put a trash bag in a trash can after you take out the trash.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, just like simple, super simple things, or even like figuring out a way to do something, like in the sense of just finding a solution.
Yeah.
Like they don't. Is the word exacerbate? You know what I mean? Where like
Exacerbate is a word.
like where it's like,
To exacerbate though, like it's to make the situation worse.
oh, okay, no, they're not that. Like to use up all like
To
to-
exhaust all resources.
yeah,
Okay.
to exhaust, like to go like to think of every possible avenue to like help,
Right.
or so, you know, just to come up with
Yeah,
a
yeah.
solution, just to
Right.
come up with
To
one.
be that focused. I
So
guess.
like, I don't know, man, just the
Solution
willingness.
focused.
Like this guy that I work with, good guy, but he's like, hey man, you speak Spanish? And I was like, no, I don't, but you could use Google Translator,
See?
right?
See?
No, but I'm saying, I was like, dude, you could use Google Translator.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not really like tech savvy.
You're like, guys.
And I was like, bro, I spoke to a Chinese guy earlier who
Yeah.
just spoke Mandarin, bro, in the
Right.
same building using Google Translator.
Right.
I was like, dude, you're telling me you're not tech? I'm not tech savvy either. I was like, the
Right.
furthest this goes is like internet searches and text messaging and phone calls.
Yeah.
You know, like that's it. But like, I don't know, just like that, bro. Like the willingness to want to do something. And not
Yeah.
even if it's like, yeah, not even if it's something that you like just in the sense of just being willing to help.
Right.
Or like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm here because I need a job. Okay, cool. You're here to need a job. Like, when you're here at your job, like, what are you doing? Well, I'm just collecting a check. It's like, yeah, dude, but when you're just collecting a check, like, how are you trying to get, like, are you doing anything? What are you doing for that check? Like, honestly, dude, the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro, why? Like, dude, you could, if we all contributed the same way,
Yeah.
then, dude, this building would be fucking, like, we wouldn't really have to try.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to what we were talking about last week, where it's like finding the thing that gives you purpose. I think a lot of people don't know what that is, but they don't even put forth the effort and think. Because I feel like if you don't know what you want to do,
Mm,
then your best option is to do things, is to try things.
yeah.
But don't give the minimum effort in trying things, because if you do that, then you'll never really be good at anything long enough for you to know whether you like it or not. Like,
Right.
and so, building off that, it's like then you have a bunch of people who don't really give the effort that's required to know if they really like something and know if that's something that they can do, or at least take those skills, like, because you can try at something, not like it, but those skills can be applied somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's like people don't take the time to try, to honestly try at something new. And because of that, they end up where they're at. They don't go anywhere, they don't advance, but they're just there thinking like,
But I think it like how you're saying it, but it's like more like not even wanting to.
all right,
Like, l- like we're like, nah, I don't even want to do that, dude. Where you're like,
yeah,
dude, while you're here, like you should do your best to do this. Like, nah, man. And I'm like, dude, so it's gonna, you're
like,
like,
whoa.
at least for myself, it's like, dude, why you're making it harder for yourself then? Because
Yeah.
if you're not using your phone to Google shit,
Right.
because you don't know anything, you don't know how to build anything in here.
Right.
You don't know how any of this shit works.
You're not getting your job done because you're not actually attending to this person who needs your help.
Yeah.
So that problem doesn't go away.
So that person, they're leaving.
Yeah.
They're leaving mad,
Right.
saying that this building sucks,
Right.
and then not to come here.
And that
So-
affects the overall productivity of this particular
Yeah.
building. That could affect your livelihood, but you're not seeing that.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. It's like, dude,
If this building shuts down, you
You're-
have no job.
you stepping on shit just fucked me up on this end because
Yeah.
that guy will never meet me.
Right.
You know?
And his
Uh,
opinion of the store is you.
Yeah.
Which is not
exactly.
good.
Yeah. Exactly, dude. So like,
Yeah.
just seeing in that, and it plays like tie into everything. Like it just like, bro, if you do good.
Right.
If they walk out happy, that means they come back. That means
Right.
they might buy more shit. That means they look for you,
Right.
right? They look for you, then they buy more stuff. Then we get a bonus,
Right.
right? Mid-year, end of year. The bonus is bigger
Right.
because the store is making more money.
Right.
That means that you keep moving up.
Right. Right.
It's so fucking- So like stuff like that, dude. Just at least stuff that's happening in my everyday life where it's like, come on, man. That, and then, so I'm reading this book, this Cesar Chavez book, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on now with immigrant farm workers, bro.
Yeah. Neither, actually.
But in the sense of what this guy's talking about in these speeches, like he's talking about like how pesticides, like during that time frame of the 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
where like they're not regulated, dude.
Right.
And there's stuff that they can't that it isn't coming out in like tests that they run on these pesticides that they can't tell if it's hurtful or not hurtful for
Yeah.
people or the plant anything. And these families or these parents, women, they're pregnant, they're working because they,
I can talk about the complexity of what that takes if you want to, but if not, we can just continue on with what you're saying.
dude,
but-
yes.
So when you develop testing for particular, like any new drug that gets sent out anywhere, whether it be for human beings, whether it be for plants or anything like that, like it goes through processes of like clinical trials. So like for humans, it'd be like clinical trials. I guess all of them eventually effectively go through something similar. But
Mm,
when so technology typically overcomes laws and things like that a lot faster. You can invent something very quickly, and the laws to regulate that thing are slow because
yeah.
of our process here in the United States. But when it comes to like pesticides and things like that, the adverse effects that they might have on human beings, we don't know them yet because the chemical comes out way before we've had the ability to
Mhm.
like test it effectively over time to see how it affects you, how it might affect your kids, like how all this stuff, right? So it's
Yeah.
like those pesticides they're talking about way in the 70s, like they definitely weren't good for they weren't good for like they weren't good for like bugs. They weren't good for the things that ate the bugs. They weren't good for those things that
Dude,
ate those things. Like
killing the stuff how you're explaining it. This guy's saying it in speeches
yeah,
because he
yeah,
has
yeah.
speeches. It's called a farmer's tale, or like man, I forgot what the title is called, but something tale. But anyways, it's Cesar Chavez, and he's like, dude, some of these pesticides that they're putting on these plants, n- they not only they're not just killing bugs, but they're killing the things that eat the bugs, and
Right,
then whatever eats those things are dying too.
right. It's a
I was like,
cycle. Like those
holy
chemicals
shit,
carry over
dude.
through,
That on top of that, like,
and then humans eat those things, and it eventually gets back to us. And then you have these like women who their kids are coming out with like
dude,
birth defects, things like
dude,
that.
crazy birth
Yeah,
effects,
yeah,
dude. One kid, he gives this one, and we can move on after that because it's fucking wild. But he's like, dude, this woman has her son. Her son has no arms or legs. Is born with no arms or legs.
yeah,
Dude, something fucking vivid.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
kid's getting old enough to where he can actually now he can talk
Right.
and
He's a
shit.
person.
Yeah, and he's like, he hopes to one day grow legs and arms, dude.
Yeah,
And I'm like, holy shit,
yeah, yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I mean, they're like, and he's like, dude, this is happening in California.
Right,
Like, but farmers are making so much guap,
right. That it
they
doesn't
don't give
matter.
a fuck,
Yeah,
dude. They
yeah,
don't give a fuck about this guy.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
like, what is it gonna take for a farm worker to get to receive benefits,
yeah, yeah,
to receive higher pay, and to at least be able to see a doctor that's not paid for by the farmer?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, dude, that's so fucking crazy,
Right.
bro.
The almighty dollar, dude.
Dude, yes. Like, and even that, where like one of the speeches where he's giving the example, he's like, yeah, so the doctor's checking this one woman out, and they're like, well, we're gonna do a strike where we don't show up, and the doctor, instead of saying like making concern or showing concern for the patient, he's like, you know how much that's gonna cost?
Hmm.
Like, you know how much money this place is gonna lose because you're
Right.
doing that? And it's like, bro, you're not even showing concern.
Again, like not big picture.
Yeah, like you're not showing concern
Yeah,
for the
yeah, yeah.
person, dude. Like you're just thinking about your fucking self, dude.
I think when and like making money, I guess I want to make this distinction very clear, where it's like making money is not wrong, but I think when you jeopardize the health or well-being of people in the interest of profits, that's where it becomes wrong. It's like the big picture of that is, let's say nothing was ever done about that, then we have a whole generation of disabled people who can't contribute to the workforce, can't contribute to the economy. So there's less workers to go and do things, there's less money than produced in like the economy that we have, and it's like there's less money to be made overall, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe like not a significant amount. Like, and I don't want to make it seem like it might be crazy or anything like that, but it's like, dude, like in the big scheme of things, like it takes away if your interest is to make money, and you do it at all costs, regardless of who it hurts and harms and
Yeah.
destroys and blah blah blah. Like you take away.
Mm.
It's only in the interest of making things better, of helping people, that like things do the system works better. Not that it wouldn't work anyway, but it's like eventually I feel
Hmm.
like if you're concerned about profits entirely, the system will collapse.
Yeah.
It might not be this generation or the next, but over time, you're taking away from the workforce that can do things. Like,
Or even that, dude. I was listening to something like that on the way to work where like the Fed needs needs 1 million people to lose their jobs or to
mhm,
be let go, and I'm like, wow, that's so fucking crazy
yeah,
to have 1 million people unemployed so that I don't know, dude. Just shit that's even like that, where it's like, what the fuck is happening, bro? Like that shit trips me out too, because it's like, dude, what is your? Right, just to segue into that, what is what does the average person care about foreign policy, or like how much we're sending to other people,
Yeah.
or like stuff like that, where it's just like, huh?
I guess I mean that's like a topic to talk to because right now the United States is sending like billions to Ukraine for their war efforts. I was talking to a friend of mine not too long ago. This might be different now, but at least the consensus at the time was that we were just sending them money scot free, and I was like, dude, we're not actually
Nah,
like
they're
we're
gonna pay us
loaning them.
back.
Yeah, I was like, we're loaning them money, and they're in debt to us a lot. I was like, during World War II, we did the same thing to Britain. We lent them military supply, like all types of stuff. They just finished paying that back like a few years ago.
Yeah, 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 dude.
I can't
We
remember the
sent the
exact date. It might have
Ukraine
been more
Abrams
recently.
tanks. How much are Abrams tanks?
Yeah, but it's like in that regard, this friend of mine who was just getting upset about it, I was like, dude, like we didn't give them stuff like that for free. Like they're gonna pay us back.
Yeah,
They're indebted to us now billions of dollars. Like, and we're hoping that they win the war because it's like it's not a good war, right? But it's like in any case, the point is like that it's
yeah.
not
We sent
free.
them 31 Abrams tanks, dude.
How many?
31 Abrams tanks.
How much does that cost? I guess like per tank. Because it's like that's not the only we've sent them. We've sent them HIMARS and some other. There's like some other system. There's like a lot of stuff actually, but
Holy shit. That's so fucking much, dude.
what is it?
310 million.
Jesus Christ! Just for those 31 tanks.
Yeah, because each tank is
Yeah,
10 million.
yeah,
Did I tell you how badass Abrams tanks are?
yeah. They're like the. Are they the best of the best then?
Dude, it's like, okay, an Abrams tank can move at 60 miles an hour
Yeah,
and it can hit a target moving 60
yeah,
miles an hour a mile away.
yeah. Go USA, dude.
That's how badass an Abrams tank is.
Yeah,
Abrams tanks, like, because I remember I was watching something where it's like, okay, why do we need Abrams tanks? Like, or tanks. Tanks help with, like, you're not always going to be able to send in, or like a jet or something to drop a bomb or something like that, or like even when you call for fire, dude, like, at least the much that I do know is that, like, if you're dropping like a JDAM or something like that, or even like Tomahawk missiles, something that, like, dude, you're decimating like a whole you're decimating a block, dude.
yeah,
You're not like you're just not fucking up one particular
yeah,
area.
yeah, yeah.
Like a tank can hit like a singular target.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then whatever round that it has in it, it's fucking it up. But still, though, dude, 60 miles an hour, moving, hitting a target a mile away.
It's wild.
That's fucking badass. I want
What
one,
was that? 5,280 feet, I think, is like one mile. That's just how far. Like just to give some context.
bro. That's fucking crazy,
You know,
dude.
yeah, moving 60 miles an
Yeah,
hour.
God bless America, bro. But I think like that, and like, I don't know, or yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the U.S.'s role is anymore like that, because people don't even like us. Like, people within our own country don't even like us. Like that chick at the bar. Like, that chick at the bar is like, I don't even really feel I'm not
Oh,
American.
no.
I'm like, dude, you can denounce yourself as an American, but you're still fucking American.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, you were fucking born here.
I feel like that's true and not true. Like, so I was actually having a talk with a friend of mine where it's like these pockets of reality. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, like you can, a lot of stuff gets sensationalized. You can see stuff on the news. And it's like human beings tend to do this where it's like we see something and we immediately accept that as like, that's true and it's real and that's what's going on. And like, there are segments and pockets of people that believe one thing and believe this and the other. But I'm like, dude, it's not, there are just as many people, if not more, who believe something totally different. That the U.S. is a great place. That the
Oh,
U.S. is
yeah,
this
yeah,
and the
yeah,
other. So
yeah.
it's like that's the
Okay,
privilege of being in America. That it's like
what I'll say is that
people can feel that way.
this isn't a bad place to live, dude.
No, it's not. It's probably it's the best place to live.
In the sense that in
Actually,
the countries that you've been to, dude, in comparison,
yeah.
how would you rate the United States in comparison?
The United. So I've been to Germany, Turkey, and Ukraine, Mexico also. The United States definitely 100%. I would go hang
shit.
out, have a good time, but I was like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't wait to go
yeah.
home. You
Yeah.
know, like I can't wait to go home. I miss home. I miss the United States.
Mhm.
The stuff that you guys,
You
at
think
least,
it's wait, you think it's more so like you just missing where you're from, or like you're like, dude, the United States is pretty good.
well, I guess what does that mean? The United States is pretty good. And
Like
it's
in
like
the sense of
for
like,
example,
okay, like what okay, and the differences of like countries.
yeah,
Like, okay, you've been to these countries, but when you come home when you come to the United States when you come back to the United States, you're like, are you happy just to be in your home country? Or are you happy because it's the United States?
both. I definitely like being back home, but I feel like those go hand in hand. Like the United States has like a certain, at least the what I'm used to anyway, a certain like standard of quality.
Yeah. I'm like, hell yeah.
I remember the bed that I was sleeping on. So I rented like an Airbnb when I was in Kiev.
Mhm.
And I stayed. So I went there five times. Like on
Was it a badass Airbnb?
yeah, like all of them were. But it's like I went there 5 different times to 5 different Airbnbs. The beds that I stayed on
Sucked.
were okay.
Yeah.
Like, they were okay. But I just remember thinking, like, dude, I can't wait to get to like
I knew those beds in Kiev sucked,
my
dude.
bed back home. Like,
Yep.
it definitely wasn't the
It
same.
wasn't
Like, it just
Tempur-Pedic.
wasn't,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
It
it just
wasn't.
wasn't.
It wasn't, dude. It wasn't. Like, I have a really nice bed back here at home. I'm just
No, no,
like,
no,
dude,
dude.
I
I
can't wait.
stayed in an Airbnb in Houston, dude, in a badass fucking
Yeah,
Airbnb, and the bed was stiff as fuck, dude.
yeah,
So maybe they just had stiff beds, bro.
maybe.
Because I slept it down and I could not get comfortable.
Right.
Yep.
But in any case, like,
Yeah.
I definitely miss. I remember thinking so like there's not a lot of I feel like in America if you want something you can have it any time of the day whatever it doesn't matter like but in Kiev you couldn't like things closed like you couldn't get food at any odd hour like I don't know like small stuff like that not a big
Oh,
deal
okay, like the amenities.
yeah like the United States it's like a luxury place like you if you have the money you can pay for anything like anytime any place anywhere like
When getting out of the army, or there would be places that we would go like train.
mm,
We'd be training or something like that, or even deployed, where like you don't have ice,
okay
you know, but like or like something cold.
yeah.
It's not nothing's cold. It's just like room temperature or like
Okay.
hot. You know what I mean? You're just drinking a hot bottle of water,
Yeah.
or you're
So
just
good, you know.
wait. Look, this is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So like when you do get ice,
Yeah. Oh, yep.
you appreciate that ice, dude.
100%.
And some people appreciate that ice more than other people.
Yeah.
Like that are in the same position as you.
Right.
They're like, nah, it's my ice, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
my fucking
hold
ice, bro.
it.
Where you get your own ice. So it's like,
Yeah.
where the fuck did you get your ice?
All right.
Well, it's mine. I got it. It's mine. I was like, bro.
Yeah.
But to just see something so simple as fucking ice,
Right.
something you can put in a freezer,
All right.
but to where like that commodity or that amenity isn't there
Luxury,
anymore.
right.
Yeah. And then
Becomes a
it's
luxury.
there again.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, nah, bro, I really like this.
All right.
You know, so like
I missed this.
I don't know, just how you're saying it, like, okay, I could fucking see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Because I
it
could
wasn't.
definitely go down the street to Clutch City Cluckers,
Yeah.
dude, and
Or
crush.
Whataburger.
Yeah, and crush a couple combos if I wanted to.
Shout out
Taco Bell.
to Clutchity Cluckers, dude.
Yeah, dude, shout out, dude. Shout out Houston. Get that shit.
They're not paying us for that.
Yep, they're not,
so you
dude,
guys
yeah.
know, but it's really good.
Yeah. It'll fuck up the next day, but it's really good.
Yeah, it's a good number.
But yeah, no, I definitely experienced the same shit. Or like the same thing. I think like these Asian countries though, because like going to Japan or going to South Korea, you those places don't sleep. I think that's like
yeah.
those places definitely
Yeah,
don't sleep.
and that's totally true. Like in other, I guess it's not something exclusive to the United States, but other countries will have 24/7 whatever.
But-
right, like
But in the sense of those places, they're like, okay, since South Korea is neighbors to North Korea, at least their military is like on alert. And
Yeah.
then even them, so the same thing. And then I probably even more so now that Kim Jong Un, I don't know how long he's had nukes for, but like if he's
Recently.
testing them and like flexing, like just that, I don't know, to some degree that has to be like you have to be on edge, maybe,
right, for sure.
like I I feel like I would just be on it like, damn, dude, like these fucking people can just pop off at any time.
Yeah, and they don't like us.
Yeah,
you
and the
know?
United States isn't worried about Canada or Mexico like that.
Right, we're not.
Exactly, dude. We're not even remotely. We're like, oh yeah, the United States, like Mexico's. Oh yeah, Cabo or Cancun. Yeah,
Cancun. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that place.
yeah, dude.
Tulum, all those really cool places.
Yeah, for sure to visit.
Yeah.
And then, so like, I don't know, man. It just it's definitely a trip. Or even like places like so I was going to the airport, whatever. We were driving. I was in Manila, and the driver was, but none like nobody follows traffic laws or anything. They're not. Everybody, dude, it's fucking wild. No turning signal, no blinkers, bro. People are driving
Yeah.
120 to like 50 on the
Speed of light.
expressway. Dude, people are just
Yeah.
fucking cutting, boom, boom, like just driving.
Chaotic.
Yeah, just chaotic as
Yeah.
fuck. And then you come here and you're like losing your shit over some guy who like, I guess, cut you off.
Cut you off.
Yeah.
When I got to Kiev the second time, I was
Yeah.
walking on this like crosswalk with Elizaveta, right? We're walking and like I wasn't, there were cars coming and stuff, and I wasn't sure because I don't know, right? I'm like, hey, there might be rules, but like I don't know if they follow them here. And so she was like, what are you doing? Like they have to wait for us. And I was just like, look, dude, and I gave her the same explanation. I was like, look, man, this is a new country. Like I don't know if they follow them or not here. Like I don't want to be like and get
Yeah.
run over, and I'm a big idiot halfway around there. My family's like, what happened? He just he crossed a crosswalk, dude.
Dude,
Confidently.
to cross the street in South Korea, if you're crossing the street, you pick up you
Your
make a
hand.
fist and you pick up your hand and you walk across the street, dude, and
Damn.
people are supposed to see you. You know how many fucking people get hit there,
A
dude?
lot, probably.
A fuckload, bro. Not just a lot. Like, yeah,
A lot infinity.
people getting hit all the time,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like, that's really gonna stop somebody from like, oh no, he has his fist up.
They should try both, dude.
I was like, huh? Like, dude, you guys are like a super developed country. You guys
Right.
invented Samsung.
Yeah.
You know, like, but I don't know, just shit like that where I'm like, just crazy, dude.
Could it be me?
Yeah, couldn't be me, bro. So like, just seeing the difference. Yeah, the United States is pretty awesome.
Right.
Now I don't know about like any of these other places like Poland or Sweden or Switzerland or
All right.
Norway, any of these snow bunny countries, but
Right.
yeah, dude, it's definitely a trip. I don't know, but the United States isn't a bad place to live.
It's not.
And having that conversation with that chick, I don't know. I'd be like, man, if you were born in another country, I wonder if your narrative would be different.
I
You know
guess
what
it
I mean?
depends on which country.
Yeah, I wish
What
you
problems
came
she
from,
encountered and
dude. I wish you came from Mexico,
something like that.
but not like the rich side of Mexico.
The poor side of Mexico.
Yeah, that's all.
Alright.
Like Progreso or like Reynosa,
Yeah.
where it's just like a shitty area to live. Maybe.
Maybe. right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never
I
been
really
there
ventured out
personally,
there. Yeah.
so-
Yeah, I
There
just bought-
personally, so I can't say.
Yeah,
but-
I'll just get fucked up there.
But I get the principle, I guess, of what you're trying to say. Where it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, I wish she would have. I wonder if her perspective would be different if she grew up in another country where it wasn't so good.
yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Probably, you know.
And then her friend from Iraq, like, oh, so your family probably you and your buddies probably killed my family. And I was like, probably. You know, like just in the sense of like, you know how stupid you sound.
Yeah.
You know, like that's so crazy, dude.
All right.
Like you're coming from Iraq, or not even from Kuwait of all places, and it's like, dude, that doesn't even remotely.
Resemble what?
Or
Iraq is like.
yeah, like what Baghdad is, what any of these other, at least Baghdad, that's the one place that comes to mind. But like, dude, you're in Kuwait, like you're in
Yeah.
a badass fucking like city, like country city,
Yeah.
like wealthy people live. I don't know, just I'm not saying that the whole place is badass, but like just wealthy people live there. It's a safe place. The U.S. is like there's a base in Kuwait. There's
Yeah,
bases in Kuwait. So like I don't know, dude. You just I'm like, what? Like you didn't even experience any of this stuff.
There was this.
You
It's
didn't
like-
experience like what other people outside of that in Iraq could actually experience.
Yeah.
Like any terrorist group coming through and just fucking you up. You know?
There
Like,
was this meme that I saw, but like the quote on it was, "America is the greatest goddamn country on the face of the earth, and if you don't think so, you're free to do so because you live in the greatest goddamn country on the face of the earth."
yeah.
You know, so it's
Exactly, dude. Even
like,
Mom's Exchange Student Leo, where he didn't understand. He's like, yeah, that rocket's owner said this about China, whatever. I'm like, dude, that's him like utilizing his freedom of speech.
Right.
And he didn't understand it. He's like, well, something needs to happen to him. I was like, bro, that's his opinion. Like,
Nothing's gonna happen to him, man.
nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. That's what it is, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you just go on about your day because some other guy's going to say something else.
Right.
Like, why are you worried about, I
Right.
don't know, why are you worried about him, bro? Worry about your fucking self, dude. Like, gosh dang, dude. So, I don't know, it's just a trip. There's too much shit to keep up with.
No, for
That's
sure there is.
that's what I was telling you before, where it's like, Cameron, like, in the sense of influence, I don't know, at least for myself, it's like, dude, just focus on influencing the people around you.
Yeah.
That's at least me. Like, why are you worried about people that are over there? You'll never get to see.
Right.
You'll never get to see them. You'll never get to know them. I'm not saying not to. You know what you should do? You should go fly to them,
Mm.
and you should go help them,
Yeah.
if that. But don't get on something and voice your opinion, or don't get on some platform and voice your opinion and feel like you did something
Right.
when you didn't fucking do anything.
Like when a lot of people comment and give their opinion on certain things, but do nothing for the cause that they are advocating in the comment that they left.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, I'm just upset about this, but I'm not. I want somebody else to do something about it. I just want everybody to know that I'm either against it or for it or whatever, but I'm not actually doing anything. Like,
remember there was this girl a while
like-
back talking about like the kids in cages, whatever.
yeah,
And
yeah.
she's like, "Man, it hurt me." Like,
It really broke me, dude.
yeah. And I was like, "Really?"
Believe-
Yeah, I know something like that, like something that extreme. I'm like, did it really though?
Yeah. Are
Did
you
it?
doing anything about it?
Yeah, like,
Outside
well,
of
I
complaining.
cried. Like, oh, you cried? Oh, okay, that really helped those kids in cages get out of those
Yeah.
cages, dude. Like,
They felt it.
but to demify me as like a bad person.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
bro, I don't. No offense to the kids in cages. Like, I'm not saying that I don't feel for those kids,
Right.
but I'm not investing anything in them.
Yeah.
Like,
Realistically, I have other things that I have to attend to.
do you really?
Other
And even if you do,
responsibilities.
like, even if you do have other responsibilities,
Yeah.
or even if you don't, like, I want to care. I really want to care. Oh, I really want to care, dude. But HBO Max, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
Was
like-
that Ricky Gervais at like one of these like Golden Globe Awards or whatever? He's just saying like, yeah, all you guys care about, like, was it child labor, this and the other, like child labor violations across, but then you buy an iPhone.
Yeah.
Like where we have this kid in China who's
I know, like,
working
Mom.
for a bowl of rice. Like,
Oh my gosh, dude. Mom. Oh yeah. I was like, Mom, let's go to Costco so we go get bulk stuff. She's like, no, the Chinese own that. I was like, Mom, you're using an iPhone.
yeah.
Like, oh well, I it was given to me. I was like, yeah, you're still using it. Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
yours. Just a trust me.
Right. Just like, oh,
Just stuff like that. What the fuck is
I feel like that's what's maybe good and bad about living here in the States, where it's like, oh, you can be upset about things but do nothing about them.
Believies, bro. That was
Yeah.
Louis C.K. He's like, oh, it made me. He's like, yeah, this soldier comes in and I felt compelled to get my seat.
And I
didn't-
felt good about,
Yeah.
about thinking that. Like,
I did it, but, yeah, exactly. The same thing. Like, someone gets on their computer, like they voice their
Yeah.
opinion. It's like, man, I feel good about
it's a
that.
hard day's work, dude.
Yeah, I'm about to go to sleep.
Yep.
Like, man, I did a good thing.
I made it. That's gonna influence
That's
somebody
a-
who can do it. Something about.
Dude, that's
it,
a trip in people's realities, bro.
yeah.
To feel good about that, and then to go to sleep and be like, man, I'm a good person,
Yeah.
and be like, are you a really good person?
Yep.
Or are you a shitty person just like the rest of us?
Or
dude?
are you just a person?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Just a person.
Good, bad, whatever. Just a person.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That's a trip, bro.
Right. Isn't it?
But,
Isn't it all?
Yeah, dude. That's that, and that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah. That's all I gotta say about that. We'll leave that there.
Yeah. I don't know. What else you got, dude?
I feel like that's probably about it for today. Nothing particular, like outside of, I guess, like the topics that we covered in that particular aspect, where it's like these pockets of what people have the privilege to care about in the States, and then versus what they do about the things that they care about. Some people actually go and they try to enact change, and they're a part of things.
Mhm.
And they make that. That's what gives them purpose. That's what gets them up in the mornings.
Yeah.
A lot of other people don't. A lot of other people, I feel like it's a lot of, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like when you're having a bad day and you take that out on somebody who has nothing to do with you having a bad day, but you're just having a bad day. Like you project
Yeah.
You project what either like in insecurities or what you've experienced or so on and so forth because you haven't processed that in a constructive way to not do that to people. But
Yeah.
I feel like the internet has done that to people. People have a lot of time on their hands and they'll scroll and see certain things that they don't like and maybe whatever it is that they think, believe, or are feeling that particular day in that particular moment and they'll comment on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that accomplishes nothing outside of like just being a comment on the internet forever. So it's like hopefully they never want to run for office or anything because somebody somewhere will look that up. But it's just it's a trip to me, I guess, the things that people really pseudo feel good about doing. Like
Yeah.
they believe that they're doing something good by voicing an opinion on some platform buried in tons of content that nobody will ever see where it'll actually make the influence that maybe they believe that they'll have. But they get that therapeutic effect of voicing out what they care about, how they feel about something, and so on and so forth. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like stuff like that is I don't know, it's just the world that we live in. Like it's so easy to find access to things that you don't like. I was talking to a friend of mine who's a little bit older. She's about maybe 20, 30 years older than me. She was just saying she's like, "Yeah, I feel like a lot of people say this. The previous generation typically acts this way about the generation that comes after, where they say, yeah, like things were better back in my day. Back in my day, this and the other." And I remember this friend, she was telling me, she's like, "Yeah, I feel like hate and all this other stuff is so rampant now. I feel like things are worse now." And I was like, okay, I was like, why do you think that way? Well, because, and she started bringing up like particular issues, I guess, that like she saw on social media. And I was like, okay, do you realize that there's like an algorithm that wants to keep you on the app? So it gives you things that you don't like because you are more proactive in responding and interacting with those
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
than those things that you do like. So I was like, but on top of that, I was like, let's just that aside. I was like, in context, things are actually a way better now than they've ever been because we don't have slaves anymore. The last time we fought over anything that was like a really big deal was the Civil War, where a country fought itself. Like the United States fought itself as to whether or not we should have slaves or
Yeah.
not.
Brothers fought each other,
Yeah, brothers fought each other.
killed
Like
each other.
yeah, over the belief that it was their right to have to own somebody. And I was like, do you think the last time I checked, we're not fighting over that anymore. We're fighting over actually more civil issues, more like rights to be things.
Yeah.
Rights to like exist as as a particular person, right? And I was like, we can do that without killing one another. I was like, things are arguably way better. We're not hanging black people from trees. We're not burning crosses in front of people's buildings. Like, people can drink water in the same place. Like, people of color of all colors can interact, go to
Right.
school together. Like, it is such a foreign concept to my. This is me talking to my friend. This is such a foreign concept to my generation that we ever cared about that at all. Something as simple as color, like the color of your skin, that I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, like this evolutionary trait, this melanin,
Yeah.
like
Like a
that your body produces this depending on where you are, where your ancestors come from geographically. Like that, if you come from a hotter place, you typically have more of that, so you're darker because that absorbs UV radiation. And you're less likely to get skin cancer. Like
like
it's just an evolutionary trait.
how you're saying that. I think there's either 3 or 4 significant Supreme Court rulings that dictates to us where we're at now.
Yeah,
I think it was like separate but equal, or no, where a slave. I think it's Plessy versus Ferguson. I think that's what it is. Where the dude's in Kansas, he's in a territory, he's in a free state,
hmm
but he's a slave.
yeah,
They send him back
yeah,
because he's a slave.
yeah,
He's a slave. And then you fast forward, and then it's a black guy who's sitting in a train car, who is, I guess, separate but equal.
yeah.
Like it's like, yeah, you're equal in the sense of us being men,
Right,
something along those lines. I think I could be fucking it up, but you're not equal to us. You're
right.
separate though.
Oh,
So
for sure.
like,
Like the quality that a lot of people of color, like the quality of like restaurants, education, all of that, it was definitely very much
yeah,
like
yeah, no. So
second
Plessy
class.
versus Ferguson is upheld Louisiana state law during the Jim Crow laws for equal but separate accommodations for white and colored races.
Yeah, yeah,
So, who won? Okay. Yeah, dang, dude. That's crazy, bro. And then you have the Brown versus the Board of Education of desegregation of schools.
Yeah, yeah,
So like I don't know, there's progress happening,
yeah.
bro.
Right, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's progress, but then like now you get to here and then like for some reason religion is like getting back into the mixture of things where it's like, okay, or in the sense of Roe v. Wade and like, but that's a whole nother thing. I'm not
Yeah,
on it, so I don't.
there are definitely layers of complexity to all of it, but I feel like I guess that I'm like when I'm talking to my friend about this was probably about like a year ago maybe. I was telling her I was like things are arguably better now. They're not perfect, but they're better. They're better than they've ever been. Nobody's killing each other. We have a lot of rights that give us the ability to discuss what we feel strongly about, what we think needs to be changed, how it needs to be changed, and so on and so forth. I feel like the narrative of that progress gets misconstrued a lot. That it's like people look to the extremes as opposed to maybe the progress that needs to happen. Like with this, when George Floyd was like a really big deal, I think people were focusing on like the narrative, at least that I was exposed to, was oh well, like black on black crime is so much more, and cops like it's not all cops, and so on and so forth. And I remember talking to
Yeah, dude,
these
look,
friends of mine.
Dred Scott, the Scott versus Sanford. That's the one where he's in Kansas or he's in a free state, and it says African in 1856 or Supreme Court ruled that Americans of African descent were whether free or slave were not American citizens and could not sue in federal court. So they
That's
weren't even
wild.
considered people,
Yeah,
bro.
they're but
Just like stuff like that where you think you're like, dude, that was the first one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then you have separate but equal.
All right,
Then you have Brown versus the Board of Education.
all right.
You have different lapses in history or different times in history where it's like, dude, you're seeing the progress.
Yeah, yeah,
And the
yeah.
progress isn't significant. It's 51 to 49.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's usually the progress.
All right.
Like that's the determining thing.
Yeah,
So you're gonna always people don't like change.
yeah.
So like it's something like that, but it's just the trip to be like, dude, something to us is so fucking abstract.
Right. We look at it now. We're like, yeah, that's so stupid. Why do they think black people should have been slave? Like, but it's like to them, dude. It was like, no, this is my like. He's not a person. He's a tool. Like, you're
Yeah.
taking away my prop property. Like, and it's just like, yeah, that's what they thought. I bought him.
Right.
I bought them.
You know
Like,
the real McCoy is?
no.
Just to put you on a little
While
history.
you're looking that up, I guess finishing this like George Floyd thought about like police and like police brutality. I remember talking to like other friends of mine about it, and I was like, "Look, can we all agree that there are some cops that do things that they shouldn't do?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Dude, that's it. That's the issue. Stop making it about race. If we fix it for one race, we fix it for everybody."
Yeah, right. Like
I'm like, why are you guys getting like so fixated on like, well, it happens to everybody? I'm like, right, and that's terrible. Like, it shouldn't. There should be consequences for that.
Yeah.
Like,
but
it's
there's
like
too much
stuff like that.
I feel like yeah, too much it's too complex.
Well, I feel like the narrative, at least when you watch it on like the media and stuff like that, like you can get very polarized in it being.
Oh well, yeah, because they
particular,
want you to watch, bro.
right.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
want you to get upset and
So
on
just
and
to
so
show you how like I know there's a lot of other badass people, but the real McCoy, like the real McCoy is the meaning, the real thing, the genuine article.
forth. Okay.
The apparent fake turned out to be the real McCoy.
All right. No. Okay. So I'm familiar with the term, but I thought you meant like a person.
Yes. So the real McCoy was the inventor Elijah McCoy, born in Canada in 1844. He had many different inventions, including an ironing board and a lawn sprinkler. Other company, but dude, Elijah McCoy had like the most patents. Like
Yeah.
the dude crushed it, bro.
Yeah. Invented everything.
So that's where the nickname comes, the
from.
real McCoy,
McCoy.
because Elijah McCoy was fucking crushing it
Yeah.
with inventing shit. So like, oh, bro, that's the real McCoy. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you're the real McCoy. Like, dude, you're legit as fuck
Yeah.
because and that's like I said, Elijah McCoy. It's just a trip, just to, okay,
History, right?
yeah, dude. How many? Let me see. How many?
How many? What?
How many patents? Dude,
Oh.
he had 57 patents.
How long ago was that?
This was in the 1800s.
1800s.
Yeah, or 1900s, I mean.
57. The 1900s. That guy was inventing out the wazoo for sure.
Bro. Just fucking shooting in the dark, dude.
Yeah,
Shooting
yeah,
darts
he's
in
like,
the dark.
you know what?
Oh,
I don't
this
like.
is a dingle hopper. That's what, yep, that's it.
Oh my
What do you
god,
call that?
dude.
That's an ironing board, bro. That's a
Yeah,
lawn
yeah,
sprinkler.
yeah. That's an ironing board. That's a lawn sprinkler. It's a lawn mower.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
I'm
god.
fucking nuts, dude. But to think, I think
Find
like
stuff people like doing, inventing it.
I think when like Black Lives Matter, that was when I was reading like a shitload of Black History books,
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
not like a shitload, but read Marcus Garvey. I'm glad read Marcus Garvey, which I became super huge fans of these people.
Yeah.
But Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass, and Booker T. Washington, dude, those are like my favorite black leaders, dude.
I think that's
Like
like
they were the
another.
shit. I thought they were the shit.
That's
I
like
think-
another pitfall to not, I guess, like be victim of, where it's like, okay, Black Lives Matter might have certain things that you might not agree with. They might have, like, again, like the narrative, where it's like, dude, don't get so sidetracked on like the narrative that you hear, but maybe try to align yourself with what their mission is,
Mhm.
right? And it's like, okay, like Black Lives Matter, and it's like a lot of people say, okay, all lives matter. It's like, you're right, but again, if we fix this problem for this particular set of people first, it fixes it for all of us. Like, it's
Yeah.
not like, it's like, don't lose sight of the mission.
Yeah.
Like, don't lose sight of the mission.
What was it? Daniel Tosh, he's like, we should make all cops black. You know what I mean?
Easy.
Fix the problem right there, dude.
Fix the problem right there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So it's like stuff like that. Like, I don't know, just progress in that regard. Where it's like,
Mhm.
dude, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Things are really good for a lot of people. Things are not perfect, but hey, we're making progress.
Bro.
I really like that.
So again, progress, right? We're talking about
Yeah.
we're talking about that and like how far it's come. You got to think that Booker T. Washington, when he became free, that was during the Reconstruction era,
Okay.
something around that time frame.
Mhm.
The guy didn't know how to read. The guy didn't know how to write, right? And then they would keep him from knowing those things.
Yeah.
They would keep him. They would keep him stupid. They would keep him like pets.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Goliath, this dude knew how to read and write. He's pretty smart, dude. Pretty smart guy. I'm not saying that he's not, he's a dog, but I'm telling you, after watching that one dog video where the dude knows self,
Yeah.
and he's like, bro, he kind of depressed because he's a fucking dog. But the same thing where these guys, he learned how to read and write. That's where the HBCUs came in.
Mhm.
I forgot what school he went to. But this guy at 16 years old with
Historically black universities.
yeah,
HBCUs.
yeah. So like he traveled, I don't know, he walked or hitchhiked
Mhm.
with like the equivalent of $5 in his pocket. Didn't have enough money to he didn't have enough money to go to that school.
Yeah.
He had to clean out a classroom for them to judge if he was suitable to work there so that he can have the opportunity to go there.
Yeah.
So if he didn't make it, he would have to hitchhike back home
Right.
or fucking live around there. No home. And he got educated, dude.
Yeah.
Invented Tuskegee Institute, technical school or
Yeah,
trade
yeah.
school. Bro, I don't think anybody like that, I don't think your average black person is going through something like that.
Yeah.
They're not going through leaps and bounds to fucking get educated.
All right.
You know what I mean? They're
It's a
not
lot easier now versus what it was.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the whole. That's what
At
I'm
least
getting at.
here in the States, I don't know how it is across the world.
Dude, people, there's. All I'll say is that there's minority doctors.
Yeah,
There's doctors. I just had a fucking Indian, or I hope she's Indian, but a freaking chick, a doctor. She's my doctor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's who it is. At some point, they weren't able to do that, dude.
Right.
Like, can you not say that's progress?
For sure. Progress.
You know what I mean?
I
That's
feel like
progress, bro.
that is demanding more progress is the place to be. Because it's like, I felt like way back in the day, that's exactly what they were doing anyway. Where it's like, progress is always too slow, right? But it's in retrospect where you can see how much progress has been made.
Dude, I gotta find this thing. And it has to tie in with women. And it's talking about this lady, dude. I like her reaction, bro. Because she's like, oh my gosh, like, I'm having this is such a basic conversation. Like, I like the way she reacts. Because she's like, "Oh, dude, we're going to go there." That's what she's pretty much saying. Like, but I got to find this dang freaking video, dude, because I freaking absolutely, I think it's great.
The bee's knees
Dude, it is, because she puts things.
into a particular perspective.
Yeah, dude, I got to freaking find it, man. But the way she explains it, dude, and I was like, bro, that's exactly what it is. It should be that freaking way. Oh, it's a short. Yeah, it's a short. Let me see. Dang it, dude. No, I can't freaking find it. Can't freaking find it, dude. And I thought I was. Let me see. Dang it, dude. But this lady, she's just talking about this, and I'm never gonna find it, dude, because I get stuck on YouTube, bro. Boo. Yep. Let me see, dude. I'm hoping that I can find it quickly. Quickly. Dang it, dude, I can't. But it's this, and she would be the only one to explain it where it's like, dude, and she sticks out. She sticks out. She's a Middle Eastern woman or some kind of Asian. Um, and just the way she freaking says it, dude, because they're talking about equality, and she's like, no, like, I'm not wanting to be 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not wanting to physically beat the shit out of you. She's like, we're talking about cerebral equality.
Okay.
Talking about the CEO, like, I can be a mother, but also be the CEO of a company.
Yeah.
Like, I can do both things. Like, how is that not a thing?
Right.
But she just explains it way freaking better, dude. And it's just something like that where it's like, bro, that's the kind of conversation I would like to have.
Yeah,
Like, in the
and
sense like
to
that
be
where it's
fair,
like,
those conversations are already taking place. Like again, like what we see versus what's true isn't always the same thing. You can just be exposed to certain truths, but that doesn't make it real across the board. Like gravity is real to all of us, right? But it's like what we experience as human beings with one another, conversations we have, the realities we experience within like places that we exist. That's just true for a particular sect of people. It's not
see,
true
look,
across the board.
Different, sir. Equality is not about physics. Oh my God, this is so basic. We have to get into it. Okay, when we talk about equality and opportunity, we talk about cerebral opportunity. We're not saying I want to be able to be 200 pounds like a man and beat the shit out of somebody else. We're not saying that. We're saying you get the ability to get the job, to be the CEO, and nobody questions when you're driven at 50 and have 3 children how you're managing it all. Don't question me. That's what I'm saying. I can be a CEO and a mother.
yeah, something like that where it's like, dude, I haven't met women like this, bro.
All right, now that doesn't mean that they don't exist.
No,
It
no, I'm
just
not
means
saying
that
that
like
they
the
don't,
women
but
you run into
dude, what I'm saying is
aren't like that.
in the sense of like progress. Like, bro,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a fuckload of progress. You know how many freaking baddies are walking around that are fucking slaying it?
With that mindset.
Yeah, with that mindset, bro.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But where people are saying like, oh man, there's no equality. It's like, bro, there's a lot of fucking equality here. That lady who just gave me a physical, that was a fucking doctor.
Yeah. There was this
You know what I
friend of
mean?
mine,
And she happened to be a minority.
this friend of mine that I went to Texas A&M with, she went to medical school, and there was like a meme that she shared, but the meme basically read, "I'm the doctor that my parents told me to marry."
That's badass.
Yeah, it was cool. Like I was like, dude, that's cool. Like she's from the Middle East. Her name is Ikram, but she's from the Middle East. Super cool chick who was studying a lot when I was going to Texas A&M. But yeah, she's probably finished now. But at the time, she was going to medical school.
That's fucking badass.
I was
Well,
like, yeah, like we definitely have those opportunities.
It's cool,
Right.
man.
That's it, dude.
And that's what I gotta say about that.
Yeah,
dude.
that's all I gotta say about that. I'm tapped out already, dude.
So, this is the Double Trouble podcast.
Right.
Thank you for listening.
Stay
This
tuned.
is Austin and Cameron signing out.
Signing off.
Holla at your boys.